All right, you ready to get started? So, hello, my name is Kate. I am a case mentor. I am a sophomore physics major. I'm not a sophomore. I'm a junior physics major, still just into the new year. Wow. Um, it's weird to think that I'm an upperclassman now, and my pronouns are she, her, hers.
Hi everyone, my name is Hanai and I am a senior studying math comp bio major and my pronouns are also she, her, hers. Thanks for joining us today.
So today we're going to talk about some healthy habits, and while we do this, you can follow along with some nice relaxing coloring to de-stress and chill out. So making and breaking habits. From daily toothbrushing to having a coffee in the morning before work or class, we all have habits that help us get us through our days. Think about some of your own habits. What are some of the habits, both good or bad, that you have? So personally, one habit that helps me is that I set my wake up alarm to some really upbeat music, and that helps me be like kind of jazzed up and ready for the day as opposed to like beeping or some other noise that wouldn't get me as like woken up and excited for the day.
My habit is the first thing I wake up, I try to open my windows so I can physically get active in a way to wake myself up.
So how many days does it take to make something a habit? So old research used to say that it took about 21 days to make a habit. However, newer research suggests it takes closer to 66 days on average, with individuals ranging from about 18 to 254 days. So we want to talk about healthy habits now. We're about a month into the semester, but we have about 2 months left. So it's not too late to start making some healthy habits or breaking some healthy habits and having them still come into effect this semester. How many days do you think it takes to break a habit? So in some cases, breaking a habit can happen super, super quickly.
And I have a good example. So I used to put my phone in my butt pocket, but one time I accidentally dropped my phone into the bathroom. And ever since then, I stopped using my butt pocket as my phone carrier.
So in cases like that, where there's a big negative consequence immediately, it can be really easy to break a habit. But most of the time, though, it will take as long or even longer than it took to form the habit to break it. So this all depends on a few factors, like how long you've had the habit, whether it's a big part of your daily life or only happens like less frequently. Um, uh, and also what rewards you get from it, like what benefits, even if there are costs to it, and finally, your motivation for breaking the habit. So there are a lot of different habits that you can form and can be beneficial, but today we're going to cover just a couple of these: sleep, nutrition, your workspace, coping skills, and then at the end we'll go over a few resources that MUD and the General 5Cs can offer you. Remember that we're not experts, and some of these can be challenging topics for individuals, and please reach out to people if you need support. Again, we'll go over the resources at the bottom, but Hannah and I, other mentors and proctors, are also here to listen to you. So first, we're going to go over sleep hygiene. So according to the CDC, most adults need at least 7 hours of sleep per night. Um, Not all of us here at Harvey Mudd are getting that, but we should really try to strive for as much sleep as possible, or at least 7 hours, because getting enough sleep is really helpful for both your physical, mental, and emotional health. And it also can make you more productive and increase your overall quality of life. So I know for me, even if I stay up super late working on a problem set, the quality of my work will probably not be as good, and it might have been more helpful to just cut my losses, get some more sleep, and then do a better job in the morning. So what is sleep hygiene? Sleep hygiene means having a good bedroom environment and daily routines everything that you do to promote healthy, consistent, and uninterrupted sleep. So making sure you keep a stable sleep schedule is really important. So for example, a lot of us tend to stay up pretty late on weeknights and then try to make it up by sleeping in pretty late on the weekends. However, this isn't super important, even if you feel like getting 12 hours of sleep for 2 nights a week will make up for your week. It won't, and it's really much healthier to try to have a more consistent sleep schedule. So if you can, try to shift your sleep schedule a little bit early on the weeknights and get up a little bit earlier on the weekends. In addition, making your bedroom really comfortable and free of disruptions. So maybe making sure that there's no like bright, annoying lights on, or trying to keep your phone and laptop away from you as you fall asleep, and having some good routines, such as putting on a nice face moisturizer that relaxes you right before bed. And it has like maybe a nice calming smell that helps relax you. All these are really important for building healthy habits and can contribute to good sleep hygiene. So again, we're going to go over some quick tips for better sleep. So like I said earlier, try to stick to a sleep schedule, make it nice and consistent, and avoid having big disparities from day to day or from weekdays to weekends. Paying attention to what you eat and drink is really important, and also having a nice environment, something that's cool, dark, and quiet. Whatever works for you, maybe like some white noise, but probably like no flashing lights, for example. Just trying to make sure you have a good sleep environment for whatever works for you. In addition, making sure you have some physical activity in your daily routine is important, especially with everyone going remote right now. A lot of us have settled into a more sedentary lifestyle, but even going for a quick walk every day, and especially like some regular, a little bit harder exercise can be really good for making you more tired and ready to go to sleep when it's bedtime. Finally, don't toss and turn. If you can't fall asleep within 20 minutes, it's not as helpful to just keep lying in bed. So you might want to get up, get a glass of water, read a book, do something quiet and relaxing to help you get sleepier and more tired, and then go into bed. And this will help you and help your body associate being in bed with going to sleep. And if you continue to do this whenever you can't fall asleep, it can eventually help you be able to fall asleep quicker.
Now I'd like to talk about nutrition. But before we do, keep in mind that we're not, again, experts on nutrition, and that, again, this section could be a difficult topic for some of you, especially since if you live with your family. It's something that you don't really have much control over, so please do reach out if anyone needs support. So when you had nutrition talks in school, many of you may have been taught with the food pyramid style, which is on the left. But today we're going to introduce to you the My Plate. On My Plate, vegetables and fruits make up about half of the plate, and grains and protein make up the other half. And another distinct difference is that in the food pyramid, there is a section called meat, whereas in the My Plate chart, it is called protein, which includes eggs, beans, peas, nuts, and seeds in addition to meat. So as you may have noticed, this change recognizes the benefits of a plant-based diet. In terms of amounts, college students should try to eat 2.5 to 3 cups of veggies and about 2 cups of fruit per day throughout the day. This equals to 12 baby carrot sticks, a decently sized salad, and 2 small pieces of fruit. You can also add veggies and fruits to salad or sandwiches. It's important to remember that produce contains more bulk and fiber in its raw form, so cooked veggies can also just be as healthy to eat, but you'll need to eat more of them to meet your daily target. Here are some of the tips and tricks for eating well. And the first one is planning ahead, remembering your food groups, and also experimenting. And what we mean by that is that someone's eating strategies may or may not be suitable for another person's. So you want to experiment different methods and make sure that it is something that best suits you in the long run. And another tip is expanding your definition of salad. So in many American households, salad is a small side dish. But change your thinking and maybe consider building a salad with protein as your main ingredient, whether it be a piece of grilled salmon, a chicken breast, or protein-packed quinoa or tofu. And from there, add veggies and fruits for color and flavor, then top with nuts or seeds for extra protein and texture. And you could also redefine dessert. And this one's just gonna be hard for me, but dessert doesn't always have to mean frozen yogurt with 5 kinds of cookie crumbled on top. Fruit has natural sugars that can boost your energy and satisfies a sweet tooth during or after a long day of classes. Yeah, of course you can top your dining hall soft serve with fruit once we go back on campus, but consider trying some Greek yogurt or apples and peanut butter every now and then. And also, last but not least, please remember to hydrate yourself.
Now we're going to talk about the importance of having a distraction-free workspace. So there's a couple simple rules that you can follow to make sure that your workspace is as productive and helpful as possible. So one good rule of thumb is out of sight, out of mind. So that means if you have something that distracts you, if you remove it from your workspace, that can actually remove the distraction from your mind as well. So for example, sometimes I like to have my phone near me, and that makes me want to use it to procrastinate by going on like Facebook or other social media. But if I move my phone far away, for example, I have to put it upstairs to charge, that keeps me off it because I have to go upstairs in order to procrastinate using my phone. But also I don't think about it as much and I have less of an urge to procrastinate. In addition, trying to find a space with a lot less noise pollution is really important. This can be difficult, especially with many of us living at home. You might have little siblings or older siblings, or just roommates or parents who are like noisy because they're also going about their day. So try to find as quiet a place as possible, but if you can't do that, maybe investing in some noise canceling headphones can be helpful, or just regular old earbuds playing some music or some white noise, anything that'll help keep you focused on your work and not distracted by the ambient noise in your household. It's also important to have an ergonomic workspace, and that just means a workspace that's designed to be a workspace. So for example, having a table or desk can be really helpful instead of just having like your laptop on your lap on a couch or something like that. Many people like to work in their beds, but that's also not as productive. Having some good hard surfaces is important, and keeping, again, your computer off your lap helps you be more productive and also improves your posture. So that's always good. And finally, you want your workspace to be organized. So if you have a lot of loose sheets of paper, other stuff like that lying around, it might be helpful to get some folders or binders just to keep things neat and organized, nice and separated. Also, or at least put things in different piles according to subject or due date or some other organizational structure, whatever works for you. Also try to make sure that you keep your workspace for work-related things. So try not to let old dishes pile up, lots of coffee mugs lying around, stuff like that. That can just be distracting and cluttering and generally lead to a less productive and helpful workspace. So if you keep your workspace organized, that can really help you be productive.
Sorry about that, spoiler alert. In the last section, I'm going to talk about coping skills. Coping is cognitive and behavioral strategies that people use to deal with stressful situations or difficult demands. And the stresses can be internal or external, meaning that sometimes we need to cope with things that happen to us, and other times we must cope with things that happen within us, and they may require us to deal with both internal and external demands. The 2 coping strategies we would like to introduce you today are emotion-focused strategy and problem-focused strategy. And if you use emotion-focused coping strategy, then you will focus your energy on dealing with your feelings and emotions rather than the problem itself. And some examples could be meditation, going outside to get some fresh air, listening to music, basically anything that can improve your mood and boost your energy. On the other hand, using problem-focused coping strategy means that you'll focus on the problem itself and tackle the root cause of stress. In this scenario, you can ask for assistance and seek support and create action plans to get rid of the problems from the roots. And keep in mind that the coping strategy you use doesn't depend on your personality or not necessarily on you, but on the problem itself. Now, I would like to talk about self-care, which is anything you do to regularly take care of your mental, physical, and emotional health. And self-care is individualized, that a self-care method that works for someone could look a lot differently from a method that another person uses. So the difference between coping mechanism and self-care is that coping skills are tactics used in a stressful situation, whereas self-care is something you do and doesn't depend on your stress level. So self-care can be a preventative measure that reduces the need for coping skills in the future. So if you do self-care regularly, you can prevent yourself from running out of fuels. Once you do enter the running on empty phase, then it could put you in a difficult spot and stresses you out, which could require the coping mechanism that I introduced to you guys today.
So just in summary, we have a quick list of resources in case you have missed any email blasts about these. So the academic deans are particularly good if you need extensions for something outside of your control, which is different from accommodations, who is in the Office of Disability Resources. So if you need accommodations for disability or like a chronic condition, something like that, then you would reach out to Mr. Kamakana. However, if you something else comes up but you still need academic support, like you need extensions for a short-term period of time because something has happened, then you would reach out to the academic deans. I also want to highlight MCAPS, which stands for Monster Counseling and Psychological Services. So this is the 5C resources for counseling and psychological services. So if you need to see a counselor or you need help finding counselors in your area, stuff like that, this is the number you can call to reach out to the website to schedule an appointment, or you can look at their website and see what services they offer. So any questions? Awesome. Well, thank you for watching this, and I hope this has helped you form some healthy habits or break some unhealthy ones, and just inform you about resources and ideas for helping make your semester less stressful and more productive.